Even up until last year, that is around November, there, of course, there's still, cases of, again, no drugs, and especially when it comes to the children as well. And we need to understand where we are at with the same. So let's sort your audio, and then we'll come back to you, Timothy. But for you, Doreen, so you told me again, got to a point where you stopped using your medication. And at what point and why?
In 2011,
Okay.
I stopped taking my ARVs. Well, because we had gone to Loliondo. When I say we, I mean my mom and I.
All right.
I convinced her because we saw the Loliondo story on TV, and I was like, this is what is going to make us HIV free.
Yeah.
So we traveled all the way there. We drank the cup, or rather the herbal medication, and we believed that we had indeed become HIV free. So when we came back, we both stopped taking our medication, but my mom stopped for like, I think around 3 months, but I went for 2 years without being on treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice any changes?
Of course. Of course, when you are taking treatment,
Yeah.
the treatment is supposed to lower your viral load, which means it also reduces your chances of getting opportunistic infections.
Absolutely.
But now, if you are not on treatment, the opportunistic infections attack you every time.
Yeah.
So I got TB, I got pneumonia, I got herpes zoster. I was dealing with so much at the same time.
Okay.
And then now things were dramatic. My mouth was swollen. It was bad.
Okay.
So the doctor looked at me and he was like, why did you stop taking your treatment? And I never told my doctors that actually it's because we had gone to Loliondo and we believed we were both HIV negative.
Yeah.
I just told him I was tired. But also the treatment fatigue had kicked in.
Yep.
So I was looking at my treatment and I'm like, why? You know, nowadays we're taking just 1 pill. But then we were taking, I think, 3.
Yes.
It had reduced again to 3. So still 3 is a huge number.
Every day.
So
Yes.
I was tired.
Yeah.
And I told him I was just tired and I wanted a break. But sadly the break ended badly. Yeah.
Okay. You were not okay. Opportunistic infections.
Opportunistic infections came in, like, and the thing is, when you stop taking the treatment, the opportunistic infections will always come.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Your mom, did she experience any?
My mom, weirdly enough, she did not experience opportunistic infections
Within the 3-month
because I
period,
think because she stopped for a shorter time, went to hospital and told the counselor, just test, like she went to some visit, she told the man, just test me. I don't need counseling, I don't need anything, I don't want to confirm whether I'm positive or not. So the test, of course, came out positive. And then the man was like, so now you can start your treatment. She was like, I've been on treatment, you don't worry. And then that story.
I just took a break.
Yeah, so she came back home and told me we need to go back to our treatment. Yeah. But I was still in that denial of maybe I should give it a little bit of time. So yeah, so the time went into 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, all this time dealing with a lot of, again, opportunistic infections and all those things. But can we address, again, stigma? Did you face any form of stigma, either as a family or as an individual?
The first stigma I faced was from my family. Because, the thing is, when I got diagnosed, this is a new diagnosis. And my mom decided to tell everyone in her family that my daughter is HIV positive. And I am HIV positive as well. So they have some medics in her family. And she thought that was supposed to be her support system. Yeah. But for some reason, they looked at us from a point of, that time HIV was a death sentence. And even my doctors did not believe that I would make it like all the way to see even my 13th birthday, because they told my parents, honestly, we would really love to give you hope, but we don't even know how she has made it this far. So we can just tell you to go home, love her and take care of her, but we can't really tell you much because there was no ARVs. There were no ARVs, literally nothing. Yeah. So I went home. My parents took me home, and so I think because of that support, that psychosocial support that you need from your family, they disclosed to our relatives. Yeah. And so some of them, of course, did not take it like, so these people have HIV, they're going to die at some point. Another time, even the issue of sharing utensils, the issue of greeting people, it used to be taken like if you greet somebody and you have HIV, you're going to transmit.
You're going to transmit
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So to them it was like, So we used to visit, and you find you have utensils on your own, and they will even disinfect the utensils, sun dry them, so that it's like to kill the virus, of which it's not even transmittable through the utensil, but that is what happened. So it reached a point that my mom became very uncomfortable even visiting her relatives. So she was like, I prefer we do not visit them. And even if we were visiting them, it's like short visits. So that, so that was the first stigma. And no, it's bad when the first stigma comes from your family. Because these are the same people who are supposed to be there for you. And then now, the world, now when, by the time I was finishing Form 4, was now when I kind of now started feeling how living with HIV was such a big deal. Because before that, it was just normal, like just the only people who know is the family, and if they don't want to associate with us, it's okay.
That's all right.
But with the rest of the world, yes, HIV has changed a lot. Like right now, we see at least some interactions and people, but there's still something, some fear, some shame.